Hello and welcome to The Insider, a show designed to clue you into the biggest news, events and announcements inside the video games industry. Discussing with you some things you may know, some things you may not, and a glue holds it all together is a little bit of my own opinion. My name is Paul James, thank you very much for watching, and let's go for their episode. So Ninja Theory, the team responsible for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Heavenly Sword, DMC, Enslaved, and a whole bunch more, joined the Xbox family in the last couple of years. And we knew that was going to bode really well for the studio because they'd always scrambled to get by. They were always looking for support from third parties. They were always looking for an upswell of support from fans. They were always considered a very small, indie-sized team working on AAA standard games. Well, they joined the Xbox family and we all thought that was going to bode really well. But what we've seen emerge this past week is a new series on their YouTube channel referred to as the Dreadnought Diaries, where they're going to go through a whole bunch of details about all things Ninja Theory. It's going to be a recurring series, and in this week's episode of The Insider, we're going to look into what they announced in this one and what the Dreadnought Diaries means for Ninja Theory and Xbox and everything going on there going forward. So for this first entry, we got Dom Matthews and Tamim Antonadis from Ninja Theory, and they basically went through a whole bunch of information about some things we knew and many things that we didn't. Now, they kicked the whole venture off by talking about Hellblade, and they basically spoke about how the team is twice the size that it once was. They showed off the trailer that we got introduced to at the Game Awards again. They didn't dive too deeply into it, but they really emphasised that this is their primary work at this particular point, and it's what we should be really looking forward to when it comes to the Xbox Series X in an undetermined amount of time. It's looking really great. I can't wait to see more from Hellblade, and the fact that we've got this series of videos that they're going to be publishing means that you can expect to see and learn a lot about the game on a fairly ongoing basis. The second thing that was discussed was the Insight project, something I wrote about on the Player 2 website a few months ago now. It's a really great mental health awareness initiative that they're working on there. They're looking with a whole bunch of psychologists and psychiatrists and experts in the field into different ways that video games can help support the treatment and support of people who are suffering from mental illness. It's a really great initiative and something that I think really needs to be paid close attention to as they continue to refine and develop it over the course of the next few years. I look forward to seeing more.
And this is a toolset that we think could equally be applied to mental well-being.
What Hellblade had achieved was to make the invisible visible. What if we could go further and give people the ability to see, engage with, and perhaps even overcome their fears and anxieties?
So the real surprise from this particular showcase was the presence of a third game. So we've already got Bleeding Edge. That's coming out in March. We've already got Hellblade 2, that's coming out sometime in the future, presumably still a little ways off, but there's now a third title they're working on as well. And this is all on top of the Project Insight work as well. We've got a new title that's currently still just a project name as well, Project Mara, which appears to have Melina Juergens in it. She's the one that plays Senua from the Hellblade games, but it's based and grounded on the concept of mental terror. It's based on a lot of research. They've consulted a whole bunch of psychologists, psychiatrists, experts in the field, people who've suffered, and it's really looking to build on that concept to deliver what's presumably going to be a very visceral, very raw, very confronting experience for players. I'm really keen to see more of it. So then, as we wrap things up, we're going to focus on the concept of this Dreadnought Diaries video series itself. Now, this is not a new thing for Ninja Theory. In fact, if you go trawling through their YouTube channel, you're going to see there's a lot of these diaries from the days before they were acquired by Xbox. They basically outlined every step of what they were doing with Hellblade. It was fantastic. As someone who was really into Hellblade years before it came out, I was watching those diaries as often as they came out, almost immediately the moment they came out, and it shed a lot of insight into the development process. And what I'm really excited for is the fact that Xbox is allowing them to continue to do this with their new works. That bodes really well for those games. It bodes really well for Xbox and the relationships between Xbox and the various parties they've picked up. We heard Xbox talk readily about how each of the studios they acquired were going to maintain that independent feel, but they had the financial support from Xbox. Well, this is evidence that that is in fact the case. And we have one video and all of a sudden we're focusing on 3 different titles here, plus the Insight project. Like, this is fantastic. Expect to see a lot more from the Dreadnought Diaries very soon. I'd imagine we're going to get some sort of emphasis on Bleeding Edge, given how close that is to release. But this is a really, really good thing, and I'm really thrilled that Ninja Theory are able to continue this approach that they've built up over the last few years, and that Xbox is going to support them to do so. Maybe we'll see Xbox encourage other studios to do a similar sort of thing going forward. That'd be great as well. More information, more insight is always a good thing. And so that concludes this week's episode of The Insider. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, share and subscribe, all those buttons down the bottom here, and hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes Patched, more of The Insider, Player 2 Plays, Late Game Review, Gamer School, and a whole bunch more. There's some great stuff there, stuff that can only be found on this YouTube channel, so please subscribe and go and check it out. Visit the website player2.net.au where you'll find reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to our podcast series, Patched, which is also in audio form, the Player 2 Pixelcast, which is back for the year, as is Dev Diary. Go and check out Dev Diary. We've got some great guests coming to the podcast over the course of this year. They're all developers from around the industry sharing their stories and experiences, so please go and check that one out. You'll really enjoy yourself. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, kicking a few bucks. At the lower tiers, you'll get early access to episodes. At the higher tiers, you'll get monthly episode exclusives. Finally, there's Twitter. You can find me at Paul James Games. The website you find at player2au. And until next time, that is Ninja Theory, what they're up to, the Dreadnought Diaries, and a whole bunch more. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.